Hi, thank you for taking a few moments to check out the Between the Lines iPhone apps from Hamaguchi Apps. There are 3 apps in this series: Level 1, Level 2, and Advanced. There are also light versions. The light versions are set up the same way. However, they have 12 tasks for each of the 3 activities, 1 user, and 1 reward animation. The full versions include between 65 to 75 tasks for each activity, can accommodate up to 75 users, including individuals and groups, and include 3 different reward games from which to choose. Each one of the Between the Lines apps has a similar home page with the exact same setup of buttons and options. So today I'm going to demonstrate using the Advanced Level app. If you touch play, you can start the activity as a guest, but first I'm going to show you how to set up the users so that we can track data. The iPhone setup is just a little different than the iPad user setup. So let's take a look at the users page on the iPhone. Then we'll demonstrate the rest of the app on the iPad so you can see it better on a larger screen. When you tap on the Users tab on the home page, it will pull up this screen. Add or select user. You can enter the name of an individual user here by typing the name and touching Add Individual User. To start a group, slide the screen left. It says Add or Select Group. If I want to select an existing group, I simply scan here to look at my existing groups and touch it and turn it red. If I want to add a new one, I type in the name in the box and touch Add New Group. The next step is to find your users. So let's pretend we're going to create a group for Mrs. Brown's AM. I touch this name and then I slide the screen back to add or select users. I find the children that I want to include, or the adults. So I'll choose Cindy, Sue, and Jack. Now I slide it again over here where it says Add Members. I touch Add Members. It asks me if that's okay. I say yes. And now here they are. Now members of the group called Mrs. Brown's AM has Jack, Sue, and Cindy all as members of the group. Now if I want to set up settings for this particular group, I would touch the settings icon right here in the upper right hand corner of the screen, and everyone in that group would have the exact same settings. But let's pretend we want to set up an individual user. Let's go back to the Add or Select User page. And I've got Sarah. So I touch her, I turn her red, and now I go to the settings and I will set up Sarah's individual settings. For activities, I have 3 choices. I can also select the order of the activities. For encouragement, I have a choice of having the encouragement after 1, 3, 5, or 10 correct answers. I can have it random or even not at all. The correct sound is a bell, and it dings after every correct answer. You can have that on or have it turned off. The default is on. For answer choices, we have a default setting of 2 choices. I would suggest starting off using the default setting. If the user is able to successfully complete a given activity with a predetermined success rate, for example 80%, the next time you play, increase the number of choices to 3. This way the user has some success starting off and gains some confidence using the app. With the display setting choices, you can keep the default setting, which automatically reveals the field of choices immediately after the question, or you can set it to manual. The manual option allows you some time to talk with the user about what the correct response could be before seeing the choices. It's a nice way to elicit expressive language or work on creating facial expressions that might fit the phrase that was just heard during the listening activity. For Move to Next Task, you have an option of keeping the default mode, which automatically moves the activity along to the next task once the correct response is tapped, or you can have it set to manual if you want some time to discuss the task in further detail before moving on. For the reward games, we have 3 to choose from: Dunk Tank, Bullseye, which is a dart game, and Knock 'em Down. You can select the frequency of the game or not to have it at all. For track progress, you can turn it on or off and have it displayed or not displayed. The default mode is to have that turned on. Let's go ahead and play.
Listen.
I am not going.
Who said it?
This is called a listening activity, but it also targets comprehending facial expressions and the emotions they convey. This task asks the user to listen to the content, emotion, and intonation in a spoken phrase and associate it with a facial expression that would best show that. There's a wide variety of speaking styles and genders represented. This task requires receptive language comprehension, but also auditory processing and inference. We can listen to it again.
I am not going.
And when we want to guess the answer, we tap the photo anywhere. Incorrect responses have no sound effect. Only the correct responses do, if desired.
How are you doing? You want to talk? You want to go swimming?
What is she thinking?
This is an activity that requires the user to integrate the content of what is being said, which requires receptive language and auditory processing, but in addition, perspective taking, body language, and facial expression interpretation. We're calling this a body language score, but please know there are many social, cognitive, and pragmatic skills rolled up into this one activity. You can replay or pause the video by tapping on the bottom of the screen. You can even enlarge the screen by tapping on the arrows in the lower right corner. The sentences in the thinking bubbles can be read to you by tapping on any part of the sentence.
I don't know. Boy, my head hurts.
To record a response, touch the box at the top.
Do you think you could give me a hand?
What does that mean?
This is an activity that we call expressions. Each video presents a person using a phrase that contains either a slang expression or some kind of idiomatic expression. As we showed with the body language videos, you can tap at the bottom of the screen to pause, replay, or enlarge the video. Listen to the choices by simply tapping anywhere on the sentence to have them read to you. Touch the box to the right to indicate your choice. Let's play a few more.
Come on, let me eat them, please.
Who said it?
Dude, guess what?
What?
I got Yankee tickets.
No way, you lucky dog.
No, you're the lucky dog. My dad said I could bring a friend. Wanna go? Won't that be cool?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, cool.
What is he thinking?
I wish I could go too. I feel a little left out. I'm going too.
She really poured her heart out to me yesterday. Poor thing.
What does that mean?
This is one of the reward games, the Dunk Tank game. It's a lot of fun. Just touch throw.
Sorry, pal.
Wait for it to turn green again, and then touch again.
You missed. That was lame. Ah.
When we're ready to go back to the game, we simply touch the forward arrow.
Don't tell anyone, okay?
When we're ready to
Who
end
said
our
it?
session, we simply touch this red button. It asks us if we want to save the data. Yes, we do. And it shows us our child's performance, or the adult's performance, on this app. Now I can see the results of my activities. It lists the scores for any activities that I played during this game. I can email the results, print it out, and save it. And that's all you need to know about Between the Lines to start playing. We hope you enjoy the app.